The United Nations Development Programme has been rendering assistance to the Gambia government for long. And now, in support of the fisheries sector of the country, the UN agency completed the construction of 3 fish smoking facilities in the coastal settlements of Tanje, Sanyang, and Gunjur. These fish smoking facilities are primarily designed to support the processing, marketing, and distribution of smoked fish by small producers, particularly women, children, and other vulnerable groups.
This project will promote the integration of women in fisheries and enhance equal opportunities, reinforce capacities of women as a labor force, especially in the post-harvest fisheries sector through capacity building, institutional development, processing, marketing, and improvement of infrastructure facilities, as well as management issues for sustainability. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, this observation in the post-harvest fisheries sector will feature improve the quality of our smoke products and reduce health hazard to the processors.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Trade, Industry and Employment, in addressing the beneficiaries of the facilities, asked them to judiciously utilize the facilities, as she commended the UNDP for a laudable gesture.
We also want to urge the beneficiaries to take very good care of the facility that has been put at their disposal. I mean, maintenance is not a culture that we often take very seriously, but I would want to urge everybody that is involved in this project to make sure that the project is put in its best use.
The UNDP provided support to refurbish and or construct fish smoke houses in 3 communities in Panji, Gunjur and Sanyan to address some of the challenges confronting the fisheries subsector. Specifically, the UNDP intervention is aimed at supporting value addition of primary commodities of site in terms of processing, marketing, and distribution by small producers, particularly women, youth, and vulnerable groups.
The Minister of Fisheries, in handing over the keys to the fish smoking facilities, urged the beneficiaries to utilize it for its intended purpose. With these well-equipped facilities, the beneficiaries look better poised to carry out their processing activities under safe, healthy, and effective conditions. Ominjai, GRTS.
The Minister of Agriculture, Solomon Owens, Wednesday launched the multi-million-dollar food and agriculture sector development project. The Global Agriculture Food Security Project, sponsored, is conceived as supporting the government attain its stated goals in poverty reduction and eradicate hunger. Ibrahim Ajata has more.
Food and Agriculture Development Project being launched by the Gambia government under the Ministry of Agriculture. It's a design to reduce rural household poverty, engaging young people and women to make efficient use of arable water resources for agricultural production and productivity. The $28 million Global Agriculture Food Security Sponsored Scheme is set to be implemented mainly in the West Coast, Lower and Central River regions.
The primary development goal of the first step is to reduce rural household poverty, food insecurity and malnutrition, through increased agricultural production and productivity and commercialization.
Carved out to support government to realize its food security goals, the initiative is bent on reducing poverty and hunger, forming part of the aims targeted in MDG 1. Officials also hope to reduce rice imports valued at $40 million each year, a turnout which could scale up support, engaging farmers to greater productivity.
The key performance indicators of the first step have been outlined in the results-based logical framework, and these, I'm told, will include food security for 240,000 of the target population, of which 150,000 are women.
Amid the ongoing World Food Education Program in the rural areas, the project is also targeting 3,350 pre-primary school children in 101 schools in these 3 regions via a feeding program with cereals ensuring proper nutrition.
Despite these challenges, the fisheries subsector has great potential for contributing to the national socio-economic development, providing sources of income, employment, including the youth and women, foreign exchange earnings, and has been identified by government as key sector for increasing investment. The objectives of the Fisheries Policy 2009-2013 includes promoting the increase of the fish supplies by at least 30% of present level to meet food fish security needs of the country, particularly the vulnerable populations, linking artisanal fisheries to markets to realize increased income and employment and take advantage of the investment opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, eradicating extreme poverty and hunger is the first Millennium Development Goal for a genuine reason. None of the other MDGs can be met without food security and economic development. And indeed, because 75% of the poor in developing countries live in rural areas, strengthening the agriculture sector can not only improve access to nutritious food, but also makes an important contribution to reducing rural poverty.
It may not end food insecurity in the country, but this giant design could drastically put hunger at bay, raising farmer capacity and productivity. Ibrahim Jata, GRTS.
The Gambia Radio and Television Services Thursday morning received 15 fire extinguishers from a company called Fire Protect Gambia Limited. Rahibite of our newsroom has more on that presentation.
National Development, Fire Protect Gambia Limited donated 15 fire extinguishers to the Gambia Radio and Television Services. The fire extinguishers are meant to safeguard staff and equipment at both arms of GRTS. Fire Protect Gambia Limited is a new company with young people at its helm. The move taken by the young company is in recognition of the significant role GRTS play in entertaining and informing both its local and international audience. Alhaji Modu Diouf, Senior Administrative Manager at GRTS Radio, spoke of the national broadcaster's social responsibility of serving all. As such, he called on others to complement government efforts.
Government cannot do it alone, and by extension, our arms are open, our minds are open, our eyes are open. In short, we are open to everybody because it's a national institution. We may come and go, as I always say, DJ. Perhaps we are the lucky few to be employees of this great institution, but we will go and leave legacies of which people have to inherit for posterity. So therefore, if your company or your institution decides to come forward and actually make this great donation, I'm sure if we are to value it, it will be to the tunes of thousands of dollars.
Babukar Keita of Fire Protect Gambia Limited described the gesture as minimal but significant for the protection of the institution. According to him, this donation is part of their contribution to national development.
We are all Gambians, we all have to contribute immensely to the development of the country. So since these things, they will provide, they will protect fire, and also, you know, because we know here the equipment that are here, they're very expensive. So this is what we do, we protect fire. This is the little I can do. I can also come and donate these 15 fire extinguishers to GRTS.
The Director General of GRTS, Alhaji Lamin Manga, was thrilled by the gesture for the fact that it came from a young business entity and young Gambians in particular. He, however, appealed to others to support Fire Protect Gambia Limited for its relevance in safeguarding not only offices but homes.
GRTS, as all my colleagues have alluded to, is not only television. You know, we also have the radio network. As far as Basse, we have a lot of substations, and a lot of my colleagues talked about equipment, but we're also talking about lives. You know, when you talk about fire and extinguishing fire, you're talking about people that work in the various places. So we can only encourage you and use this platform as well to encourage other institutions to look into doing business with an institution like you.
Other speakers included the Deputy Director General of GRTS, Abdul Toure, GRTS Head of Administration, Yankuba Jata, Senior Manager TV Programs, Fatou Sane Sise, and Usman Dabo of Fire Protect Gambia Limited, who all echoed similar sentiments. Fire extinguishers are known for their capacity of putting out fires. A donation of such will only help safeguard the national television and radio. Rahibite, GRTS News.
We'll be back with news from outside the Gambia after this break.